Right, YouTube, it's Shadow King Nazu. I'm here with my review of Dragon Ball Super, episode 98. Uh, Pardon that noise if you hear any thunder. It's storming where I am right now. Anyway, we just got back from Universe 9 being erased by the Omni King. Oh, damn it, more background noise. So anyway, Universe 9 just got erased by the Omni King because they lost the tournament. And all the other universe fighters are just absorbing this whole uh, situation. A little bit more than they should be. I mean, it's just Universe 9. It's not like the audience actually cares about it, Universe 9, since we established that they were a bunch of douchebags and losers. But I guess it does add to the tension, I suppose, so it's a little bit valid. But we also get a little bit of continuity from the Future Trunks saga, as this was not the first time that Goku and Vegeta has seen a universe erased, as to kill the immortal Zamasu, the Omni King had to erase the Future Trunks' timeline, which was basically the entirety of Universe 7. And Goku and Vegeta are just resolved to outlast the tournament until it won't happen to their universe. And Vegeta goes the extra mile, trying to say that he's going to be the one to be the final fighter standing instead of Goku. Vegeta, now's not the time to feed your own ego. And meanwhile, Frieza's supposedly not really fazed by the Omni King erasing a universe, and is instead trying to conspire a way to usurp him. Yeah, sure, Frieza. Like you're gonna totally usurp the Omni King. And meanwhile, Android 17, 18, and Android 18, remembering that they have infinite stamina and ki, well, actually more infinite stamina, really, realize that they can take advantage of that and go all out on the opponents, since they're gonna tire themselves out eventually. And good on them to remember that and try to exploit it. And this also gets the other fighters roaring to fight, such as Hid, Botamo, and so many others, which is a good thing because the Omni King was starting to get bored. And we see all the fighters continuing to fight, and we get to see that Hid and Botamo were heading towards Goku and Vegeta. And Goku went off to fight another fighter, while Vegeta decides to get his revenge against Hit because Hit gave him a humiliating defeat back in the Universe 6 saga. Unfortunately for Vegeta, Botamo decides to, well, for lack of a better term, cock block him. And Vegeta proceeds to try to pummel Botamo, forgetting that Botamo is invulnerable, and the only way that you can defeat Botamo is by knocking him out of the ring via tournament. Otherwise, he'd practically be invincible. Good thing they'd never fight him in a regular fight. But fortunately, Vegeta gets his head out of his ass and finally remembers that he should be ringing out Botamo. He even goes the extra mile of tying him up so he doesn't try to pull any tricks since he learned his mistake from fighting Goku. Unfortunately, Vegeta gets cock-blocked again by his good old arch-enemy, Vegeta. But Beerus reminds Vegeta that Vegeta has a weakness towards being insulted, and Vegeta proceeds to do that, but fortunately, Botamo is able to block Vegeta's ears, and so Vegeta won't be able to hear anything. Wait, Vegeta has ears? Well, I guess that would explain why he can hear insults. Of course, unless he has some kind of vocal reception device. Why am I talking about this? But anyway, yeah, it's nice to see that Universe 6 learned from their mistakes back in the fight. against Universe 7 in the tournament. And it is handled in a way that's classic Toriyama style. So this was pretty funny. So now we gotta do an interesting challenge for Vegeta. But let's not talk about that right now, because as the episode didn't want to focus on that right now. Let's go back to Krillin and 18. And 18 is proceeding to fight this wolf guy whose name I'm not going to bother remembering. And she proceeds to handle him so well that it looks like she actually accidentally killed him. Which would be a big no-no since you're not allowed to kill in this tournament. And if you do, you get disqualified and bring your universe one step closer to being erased. Fortunately, or unfortunately for Android 18, the wolf was playing possum and proceeded to kick her and then shoot a barrage of ki blasts to knock her out of the ring. Well, that looks cool and all, but you weren't exactly that far from the ring. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could just shot a few ki blasts to, like, catch her in mid-air and then dashed right into her and knocked her out of the ring. But oh well. We get to see Krillin save Android 18 this time. A lot of people weren't expecting that. And most people would have thought that it would have been the other way around. And he uses a ki blast to bring him and Android 18 back into the arena. Which is a pretty interesting concept, and me and my friends were thinking of ways how some of the fighters could stay and keep themselves from being knocked out, and I proposed that was one of the ways, so I'm glad that was introduced. And I don't want to hear any of these feminists or SJWs saying, "Oh, how dare Krillin save Android 18? She's a strong, independent woman. She doesn't need a man to save her." Look, they are a loving couple, and Krillin doesn't get a lot of respect. So, any good moments he can have, let him have it. Okay, so just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up about it, and let's move on. So Android 18 and Krillin decide to work together to take down the wolf guy. And they do this really interesting move where they shoot ki blasts at each other. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger while the wolf is dodging it. But each time he has to do it, it gets harder and harder. Until ultimately he hits them together. It's kind of like a volleyball technique. And it just keeps going back. And then ultimately it hits him. I really did like that. So Toei definitely delivered on the combination between Android 18 and Krillin was going to be very impressive. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing that in any future Dragon Ball games. Maybe like Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z or whatever it's called. Or maybe a game that comes after that. Who knows? But I would like to see that in the game. Then we get to they get confronted by the Fox fighter. I know they have names, but there's like 80 or so of these fighters. Well, I guess with Universe 9 gone, it's more like 70-ish. So I don't really have time to remember all these scrubs. I mean, all these, not scrubs, but a lot of these people's names. So I'm just sticking to the people who are actually important. So anyway, they decide to confront the Fox, but the Fox is able to detect them and able to fight back. Krillin decides to use his solar flare times 100, but it still doesn't work because the Fox was already blind and he's able to detect him via smell. And this leads to the really good part. See, Krillin remembers his fight with Bacterian back in the 22nd Buddha World Tournament, and how he beat him using Bad Stench to defeat Bacterian, basically fighting fire with fire. So he remembers to do that with the Fox guy, but instead of just farting on him like he did with Bacterian, he froze his stinky shoes at the Fox guy, and that basically disabled his senses, giving Krillin the win that he needs to take. And laundry must be really difficult for the Krillin family. But fortunately, Krillin did have time to celebrate as he got to look badass for that moment. However, Frost decides to be a dick, and Chief shots him by hitting him with his tail and knocking Krillin out. So Krillin's our first casualty, if you were, for Universe 7. And Beerus is not happy about it. I totally predicted that he wouldn't be. Supreme Guy tries to console him by saying he did a good job, though Krillin notes that he looks like he's pissed. So either he's trying to hold in his anger or not. I'll let you guys be the judge. Naturally, Android 18 is pissed at Frost for knocking out her husband, but Frost decides to play ninja and uses his ki blast as a smoke bomb. I had no idea we could do that. That's pretty clever. Good on you, Frost. And that's pretty much been most of the episode. And it's apparently taking about 5 minutes. Wait, you mean you could have a 5-minute fight in Dragon Ball and it can only be done in 3 episodes? What the hell was the Frieza saga doing? Just wasting time? All in all, this was a pretty good episode. We got to see Krillin doing some really good stuff to show that he's gotten stronger and is a more competent fighter with his strategy. And it was nice to see the teamwork towards 18 and Krillin. We also got to see how the other universes are learning from their mistakes from fighting Universe 7, specifically Universe 6, and learn to compensate for that. Albeit with more comic methods, but still, it's something. It was also nice to focus on the other characters besides Goku and Vegeta. And we also got this one bit where Gohan deflected a blast from the parrot guy. Oh yeah, that reminds me, there was this one bit where Gohan, Krillin, and Master Roshi fighting the parrot guy, and they defeated him by having Krillin use his Destructo Disc to cut the parrot guy's wing, and Master Roshi fires a Kamehameha. So even Master Roshi got a victory. But this also has the detriment of, this is like the second flyer of the universe, in the multiversal tournament, and they've been taken out really easy, so it makes flying seem rather insignificant. We had the butterfly girl Liliboo taken out easily by Basil. The demon bag gargoyle thing was taken out by Frieza by him forfeiting and running away. And now Master Roshi took down the parrot guy. If you're gonna make flying people seem important and seem like it's gonna be a challenge, at least capitalize on it. But that's pretty much all my thoughts on this episode of Dragon Ball Super. Next time we get to episode 100, and it looks like Caulifla is going to ask Goku how to become a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. And let me tell you guys, if Caulifla easily gets Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan when Goku and Vegeta had to bust their asses getting that form, I swear that I am going to not give a crap and continue to enjoy this episode. I'll catch you guys later.